little bit pressed for time. I do want to ask you about Ben Shalom done a number of interviews yesterday, and he said the same thing in my interview and a couple others about yourself not wanting AJ to fight Martin Bakole. Is that the case?
No, I spoke to Ben earlier. I like Ben because I feel like... what's the way to describe it? I feel like I'm like his kindergarten teacher. Do you know what I mean? I'm educating him about the sport every day now because we're working together a lot. And like, if you don't understand that Anthony Joshua calls the shots, I mean, it might be a bit different with Ben because he's been pulling his fighters out of purse bids. The fighters actually want the fights, but Anthony Joshua is the boss, right? Now, did I want AJ to rematch Andy Ruiz straight away? It's a tough decision. He wanted to, and he was doing it. Did I want AJ to fight Alexander Usyk first time around when he was mandatory? Probably, because I didn't want him to vacate. Did I want him to take the immediate rematch? AJ wanted to, and he did it. I don't have the say to AJ, or the power to say to AJ, oh, you are not fighting Martin Bakole. He fights whoever he wants. And if you think that AJ will duck anyone, you're a moron and you're clueless, because all you got to do is look at the resume. Time and time again he stepped up. You know, and if you said to AJ, who do you want to fight most of all with Fury out of the picture? The answer is Daniel Dubois. And you see other people like Johnny Nelson, they're ducking Daniel Dubois. No, we weren't ready for Feb 22nd. He's not even in full training camp now, and it's February 15th. Do you know what I mean? The fight's next week. We wouldn't have been ready. He will fight Daniel Dubois 100%. He will fight Joseph Parker if he wins 100%. He will fight Martin Bakole. Now, if you told me the options are Bakole and Dubois, I'm pushing him to Dubois because it's the World Heavyweight Championship. Bakole's dangerous, but don't get it twisted. What's this? Martin Bakole all of a sudden is the second coming of George Foreman. He got beat by Michael Hunter at York Hall. Wake up, he quit in the fight. But he's a good fighter, a very good fighter, and he's dangerous. But so what? They're all dangerous. Do you know?
And those are the words of Eddie Hearn. And let me just cut right to it, people. I think one thing I love about Eddie Hearn is he knows his boxing. You know, a lot of people forget, you know, everyone's jumping on the Martin Bakole hype train. Martin Bakole, you know, it's not the fact that he quit, but he did want to quit. He mentioned to Billy Nelson, his trainer, that he was asking to quit. I don't know if it was fatigue. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know the particulars, but I know he specifically asked his trainer to stop the fight. Okay, so, you know, we may be talking about someone, and we are talking about someone that's just human. The only question is about Martin Bakole. How good is he? Because did he improve since the Michael Hunter fight? Because that's his only loss. Now, is Eddie saying that about Martin Bakole because of Michael Hunter and his relationship thereof? Hell yeah. You know he's saying that. But is he telling a lie? No, he ain't. He's not lying. You know, and he's like, hey, listen, I have to remind people of Martin Bakole doesn't have a perfect record. He's not sitting around here with an unblemished record, perfect, and he's just ready to be this perfect fighter that can chop everybody down because he's already been beaten. And the way he got beaten, it wasn't from someone that just like was this Mike Tyson-esque like fighter or this George Foreman-esque, you know, guy that just topped him over and just overpowered him. No, it was somebody with skill, somebody with mobility, somebody with experience, somebody that knew how to move and that was smart enough to discern when to get in and when to get out. Someone exactly like Michael Hunter. Okay, so, you know, and Michael Hunter and Eddie Hearn don't get along at all. You know, of course, you guys know, if you don't know, Michael Hunter was signed with Eddie Hearn in Matchroom until they offered him some fights and he didn't want to take those fights. So they dropped him. That is the end of it. And then he turned down the purse bid to fight Filip Hrgovic, you know, a few years later, which was a terrible idea. But he did it. He made that decision based on the relationship that they had. Okay, so yeah, Eddie's coming at Ben Shalom hard because Ben Shalom is saying that Anthony Joshua's ducking Martin Bakole. You see what I mean? And of course, Eddie has to come with some firepower, and he did exactly that with his firepower because, yeah, he did pull that magic card out the hat about Martin Bakole. But that magic card is also a true magic card, because Martin Bakole did in fact quit, or asked to quit, and then was later stopped in the fight anyway. So a lot of people may look at that as, knowing what we know about Martin Bakole, what he wanted from his team versus, just pretty much not fighting or not trying like he was, knowing that he wanted to quit mentally, right? That tells you everything you need to know right there. There is some limitation to the last king of Scotland. But you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn shooting back at Ben Shalom for claiming that Anthony Joshua is ducking Martin Bakole. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.